Hello, Medicare agents. Jason Checketts here with Insurance Professionals of Arizona, coming today to share with you how we can record our telephonic enrollments. As you all know, CMS came out with that new rule that requires Medicare agents to record telephonic enrollments. Now, this does not apply when you're in person with your client. You do not need to record an enrollment if you're in person. They've made that clear, so that's not an issue. This is only when you're going to handle an enrollment over the telephone and you're not using one of the carrier's tools that allows you to enroll telephonically as well, right? So remember, Lean, if you're doing a telephonic enrollment through Lean with United Healthcare, it's a recorded call. So in my opinion, we're good with that. We don't need to record anything else. If you're going to use Humana's Enrollment Hub and use telephonic enrollment there, that's a recorded call. And then Think Agent for Aetna now is coming out, or I think they've already come out with also a way for you to record your telephonic enrollments through Think Agent when you're taking an Aetna application. So for all other applications, if you're doing a telephonic enrollment, you're going to need to record those calls. So here's the first thing I need you to do. This is just to prepare us for the rest of this little training here. You need to jot this down or do what I've done. I've actually plugged it right into my cell phone as a contact. There's a reason why. This is the Medicare Center operator phone number, and there's two ways to record a call with your client. You can either make an outbound call or you can ask them to call you at your unique phone number, and when they do that, you're going to get a phone call from this phone number. You don't give this phone number out to your client. No. But when you get a phone call in from a client who's on your recorded line, this is who it comes from. So you'll know when it pops up into your phone, if you have it programmed in, Medicare Center operator, you're going to know, oh, that's somebody calling my recorded line. So just jot this down, write it down, take a picture of it, put it in your phone as a contact. Okay, it'll make more sense here in just a minute. Medicare Center is a free tool that we all have access to. We've all had access to it now for over a year and a half actually. I haven't really pushed Medicare Center. I haven't been a huge fan of it, but it is going to be our tool of choice when it comes to recording our phone calls. So you're just going to go to MedicareCenter.com, MedicareCenter.com, and you're going to register for an account. Once you're registered, then you'll be able to log in. So I'm going to get logged in here, and voila, here is what Medicare Center looks like. Now they change this all the time, so it might look different by the time you get logged in, but it starts out with your dashboard right here, and you've got good morning your name and applications and client snapshots and other things down here. There's this other field called contacts that we'll be talking about today. There's a learning center. Go out and learn how to use this tool, right? You might fall in love with it. It's a CRM. It's where we can record our phone calls. It's where you can take enrollment applications as well if you're set up with your carriers through here, right? So you can use this tool. You can use it as a quoting engine as well. If you click on your name here, you'll see the different apps that are in here, okay? So there's different applications that Medicare Center offers. It's growing. It's getting better and better, right, as they continue to develop it. So this might very well be kind of a tool of the future. But for now, I'm just going to use it for call recordings. That's what I'm going to use it for, so that I'm compliant with CMS. Now, when you first log into Medicare Center, you should get a pop-up window. You should get a pop-up window that tells you what your unique phone number is for your recording phone line. We've all been assigned a unique phone number, okay? You're going to need to know that phone number as well. So when you see the pop-up, write that down as well, or put that in your phone or whatever. If you don't have the pop-up, or if you've logged into Medicare Center before and that pop-up doesn't show, you can always find your unique recording line phone number under your account details. So click on your name, click on account, and you'll see over here to the right your Medicare Center agent phone number. This is the one that your client can call, okay? And whatever phone number you have listed right here to the left under your personal information is what phone will ring. So as an example, let me just demonstrate this for you right now. Let's say you've got a client and they want to enroll over the phone. You can say to them, hey, Mr. or Miss Client, call this phone number right here. So let's just do that. Let's do it. I'm going to call from my desk phone, 480-470-9978. Here we go. It's ringing.
Thanks for calling. Please hold while we connect you to your licensed insurance agent.
There's a little bit of a message up front. This call may be recorded for quality purposes. Okay. And now all of a sudden, my phone is calling me from the Medicare Center operator. Okay? The Medicare Center operator is calling me. I'm going to answer that call, and now I'm going to go on mute here. Now the phone is being recorded. This phone call is being recorded, and I'm talking to my client, and you'll notice here a little pop-up shows up in Medicare Center. And you can click on call script, and you can now read this new guideline that we're supposed to read with each of our clients. This call may be recorded for quality assurance or training, but we do not offer blah. And you read this out loud to your client so that it's recorded. And then you can exit out of here, and then you carry on with your enrollment. You go into whatever tool you're using, DocuSign, whatever, and you move forward with your compliant enrollment like you normally would. Okay? And I'm still talking to the client now, and now I'm going to hang up because we've completed our telephonic enrollment. This will go away here. But now what do you do? Well, here's what you do. You go to your dashboard. Here's your recent activity. So today, September 21st, this person called me from this phone number, which is our office number here. It was an inbound call, and I have an action item here. I need to link this to a contact. So let me go to my contacts. I'm a brand new user of Medicare Center. I don't have any contacts in here. So I need to add a new contact. So you can add a new contact here, or if you're on your dashboard and you know that that client's not in your Medicare Center, you can click on link to contact. Here's the phone call that came in. You click on link to contact, and you can create a new contact for this recording to be associated with. Now, if you already have the person in your contacts, you can start typing their name right here, and your list of contacts will start showing up down here. But for today's purposes, we're going to create a new contact, and let's say that person's name was test sample. Okay, and I can put in their date of birth, and you should, because you need other identifiers in your tool. Because let's say 5 months from now, you get another client also named test sample, right? So make sure you put their date of birth in here. Maybe even put in their address, again, just so you have identifiers that you know you've got the right test sample. You can plug in their email address, and here's their phone number that they called from. It automatically populates. So if it's wrong, you can just fix that. Make that the primary communication, and then you can change this to prospect or client as you see fit, and then you're going to hit create contact. Contact added successfully. It's going to take me now to my contact, Mr. Test Sample, and you'll see here that in his activity, there that recorded call sits. It just sits there. There's nothing more you need to do at this point. You can download it and listen to it. You can download it and send it off to the compliance department that's asking for it, right? Or whatever you need to do with it. But it just sits here for 10 years. Okay? So that's the first method, is to have your client call your recorded line. Now let's go back to our contacts here. Now you'll see I've got one contact in my contacts list here, named Mr. Test Sample. Let's say I've got another client now, and I'm gonna do another telephonic enrollment. So my annual enrollment's off to a great start, 2 in 1 day. But this time I'm gonna call them on my recorded line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new contact. So let's call this person Mr. Tester. Okay. I'm gonna plug in his date of birth. I'm going to put in his address if I have it, his email address, but I'm definitely going to need to put in his phone number. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in a fake phone number. Okay, that's just a fake phone number. It's a mobile number. It's the primary communication. I haven't enrolled them yet, so I'm going to leave them as a prospect. Now I'm going to create that contact. So then it takes me to his contact information on my screen here, and you'll see activity so far is that the contact was created. Now if I go to my contact list, you'll see now I've got 2 contacts. Here was Test Sample, my previous call. Here's Mr. Tester. And you know what? There's things in here that's kind of cool. You can set reminders, okay, with a date and so forth, so that you get little reminders sent to you about what to do and action items. So again, this tool's evolving, and we might be able to use this in the future for various things. Mess around with it and play around with it. But here's Mr. Tester, and I'm getting ready to make a phone call to Mr. Tester on my recorded line. Here's how this works. What I do right here in Medicare Center is I simply click on his phone number. And when I do that, my script comes up, and I'm going to get a phone call from my recorded line. So this is my recorded line calling me first, and I'm going to answer it. As soon as I answer it, it starts ringing to Mr. Tester. Now, this was a fake phone number, so it just hung up on me. But normally, it would start ringing. And by the way, you got to tell your client, hey, I'm going to call you from my recorded line. The last 4 digits are 997A or whatever. When you get that phone, you'll know it's me calling you on my recorded line. So you've prepped your client ahead of time. So you're taking your enrollment. By the way, you've read your script here, right? So you're compliant, and now you go through your normal enrollment like you normally would. You're on different screens, and you're doing different things, and boom, you're done. Now you're done, okay? Let's go to our dashboard. And you'll see that outbound call is now linked to Mr. Tester. And if you click on Mr. Tester's contact card, you'll see that it shows up in his activity. There's your recorded phone call, sitting there for 10 years in case you get audited. We are compliant Medicare agents, folks. You don't have anything to worry about. Do what's right, be ethical, enroll people properly, and you're never going to have any issues with audits or compliance or things like that as long as you're doing what's right. This phone system recording rule, I think, is intended for the bad actors out there who are doing things unethically or out of compliance. It's not going to really impact us. We're going to learn this new tool. We're going to record our phone calls, and we're going to roll with it, right? And over time, I think this will get easier and better for us. The system will improve, I'm sure, and it'll just be really slick, and it'll just be the way we do business going forward. So be prepared for this. Use Medicare Center for all of your recordings. By the way, play around with this and create some examples here, like what I've done. And it's really cool because all you got to do is if you want to delete these names, click on their names, click on details, scroll down, and hit delete contact. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. Now I'm just left with one. I'm going to click on his name, click on details, scroll down, delete contact, and boom, it's all gone. Okay? So mess around with the system, test it out, call me if you have questions. Let's go get them this annual enrollment, folks. Have a great day.